We know that food prices are a key concern globally at the moment, and this is also translating into total inflation as well. To begin, just outline the size and scope of this crisis for us, particularly in the MENA region.
First of all, thanks for having me, Dan. So we looked into some of the vulnerabilities in the region, and specifically for those who are importers of food, fuel, and fertilizers. And like you said in the opening, we found that basically Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, Morocco, and Tunisia are the 5 that may be fragile in this situation. There are some, there are some reasons for these. Basically, the 3 that stand out are the net importers of both food and energy, basically speaking. And then all of these countries also happen to have larger sourcing of food, especially coming from Ukraine and Russia region. And then you have the fertilizers as well, that Belarus is also facing some of the restrictions. And then altogether, you have food specifically. Food basically makes up about your 20 to 35% of the expenditure basket for the people in these countries. And they are facing this higher food price coming into the year. But all in all, it's quite nuanced still when you think about it, especially given some of the reserves that they have in the food. Especially when you think of Morocco, which did get a lot of its food imports in the earlier part of the year. You have, Jordan, that's sitting on the food inventory for maybe about another 16 months of consumption or so. But then you have another country like Egypt, which may be running out of the food shortages might be coming up maybe as soon as November of 2022, given the production rates that we are seeing.
And Satyam, this latest report really highlights the challenges that a lot of these countries are facing, not just in their recovery from the COVID pandemic, but now attempting to fight inflation and, of course, soaring food prices, which is also likely to have an impact, you say, on social stability as well. Is there a risk that we could see rising tensions in the region as a result?
Right. What history has shown us, during times when food especially is running through this persistently inflationary period, we do get these, strikes and social unrests. So especially when you have higher youth unemployment rates, going into it. And right now, coming out of COVID, when the recovery is still fragile, we're facing this kind of a situation where, yes, the probability of social unrest is ticking up, especially in these countries. The distributional effect, especially speaking for the food prices, is quite large. Those who are in the lower income scale, the lower 10% of the income distribution generally tends to spend about 50% of their expenditures on food, right? So this does exacerbate some of the inequality that is inherent in the society.